Mary and Una both referred to the programme and talked about it being a pilot and one of 4 across the EU. So we thought it would be a good opportunity to take some case studies of where programmes like this would have run before. One in particular is the Creative Credits programme, which was run by NESTA in the UK. And it was a pilot from September 2009 to September 2010 in the Manchester City region. I suppose the uniqueness about the Creative Credits programme was it was the first time in the UK for a scheme that harnessed creative expertise and innovative potential in the creative industries and linked it to SME growth. So it's very much akin to the 4CNW programme. It was a business-to-business innovation voucher scheme which encouraged SMEs to innovate in partnerships with creative service providers, for example, designers. NESTA research found that UK businesses that invest twice as much in creative services as the average firm are 25% more likely to introduce product innovations. However, many small businesses are unaware of these benefits or do not have the capital available to experiment. Quite interestingly, the Creative Credits programme has been evaluated recently, and I've just picked out some of the key findings. And the first thing would be some of the benefits for SMEs that participated in the programme. And there's some comments from participants also to go with some of these. So they would have found that it enabled projects to actually happen that wouldn't otherwise have happened. A typical comment from a participant in relation to this was that we couldn't have afforded it. We wouldn't have done it. It made a real difference to us from that point of view. So it gave them the opportunity to actually do something that they had in mind. It accelerated innovation and brought forward projects that may not have happened much later. That may have happened much later. So it allowed us to accelerate things, and it perhaps made us focus on it rather than putting things off. So it got things moving quicker than if it had been left to my own devices. So that was a comment from a participant. Another benefits, it increased awareness of the opportunities for growth of business and encouraged SMEs to think about development in new areas. New developments and new products were produced to a higher standard than without the scheme. And new skills were transferred from partners. Many reported new areas of learning. While the Creative Credits is similar to the 4CNW programme, Mary and Una also spoke about the high level of brokerage that is factored into the 4CNW. In looking at the findings from Creative Credits, one of the key implementation lessons was that this programme in the UK was very light touch brokerage. So we in 4CNW have factored that learning in. So one of the recommendations from Creative Credits was that getting the matches right between SMEs and creative supply is crucial. And they would have found that this was underestimated in the Creative Credits programme, with, as I said, no direct brokering of relationships between the SMEs and the creative services. So they basically used a website or a gallery where people businesses logged on and perused the creative suppliers, whereas when we talk about brokerage and matchmaking in 4CNW, we're kind of taking a more traditional approach and facilitating the introductions and the whole speed dating and culminating in what we hope will be a nice marriage. So we're really taking a traditional approach. I've just picked a couple of reference points that you may like to look at for either maybe looking at challenges that would have went before. And just out of curiosity, could I perhaps ask for a show of hands? Are there anyone here who has actually challenges in mind? A few. Anyone hoping to find a challenge? Okay, thanks. That'll help Sally in her section. So just a couple of points of reference. Ashton University's Innovation Voucher Scheme will give practical examples of case studies across various sectors, and they would have run 7 rounds of vouchers. NESTA Local Knowledge is another reference point, and these will be on the Creative State Northwest website under FAQs. The NESTA Local Knowledge is more broad-based innovation. The Design Council Demand website, again, will show individual case studies with some interesting videos. And then from this region, the Centre for Design Innovation website shows 4 interesting innovative case studies from this region. So as I say, this will be on the FAQ on the Creative State Northwest website. As with all case studies, I suppose the benefit of today is that we're joined by Caroline Southgate. Caroline is with CS Physio, and she has experienced firsthand a scheme something like this. So I'd like to invite Caroline to tell you her story herself.